What's up, family? Welcome to Move Mondays for February 4th, 2019. So I hope you're well today. Hope you're having a good day so far. I wonder if I can share from here. I used to be able to share. I don't know how to do it right now. So anyway, I'm sitting here on a great Monday, right afternoon right now, and I can't see the time, but yes, it's afternoon. Because I was supposed to do this at 12 p.m. and here we are at, I believe, close to 1. Oh well. Just kidding. I hope you all are having a good day so far. And I wanted to share, and I'm super excited, as always. Like, I'm so corny. I'm so that's my favorite word, my favorite phrase, if you all follow me. So I'm sitting here with my Starbucks. I got a peppermint mocha. My favorite is pumpkin spice, but they kindly told me that they no longer carry that right now. I guess it must be out of season. And I've got my humble Starbucks croissant. So I titled this 2019 F.L.O.W, and I put F.L.O. as an acronym. Hope y'all don't mind me eating. If you do, sorry. But I called it 2019 F.L.O.W, and I did it as an acronym. So I haven't come up with what that acronym will stand for yet, but as of right now, I decided to put it that way because I know there's something to it. And maybe with your help, maybe you can help me to come up with what that should be. F.L.O.W. Now, the one that I've heard before is, follow the leading of the wind. So, I think that's kind of applicable. In 2019, follow the leading of the wind. Not just any wind, though. But, the reason why I wanted to name it 2019 F.L.O.W. And, so I've made it an acronym, even though I don't know what that acronym stands for, so that you could participate in dropping a line in the comment section and think of your best acronym for F.L.O.W. So the reason why I wanted to call it F.L.O.W, though, is because right now I'm in the mindset of flow. And I'm thinking about my flow for this year, what I have to offer you, the things I'm always super excited about, and all that entails. So the first thing is what we're doing right now. So I'm live streaming, and most of you all are used to me live streaming. Hello to all the new people out there. That's the other reason why I wanted to do this way, because there's a whole lot of new people that I have now that are following me as a public figure. And so live streaming from my personal page only allows me like this much access to my true audience. So from now on, as much as possible, as much as humanly possible, I will be live streaming from this page here, my public figure page. So making a note to come on over and hang out here, because I'm able to reach my current audience and an audience across the world. So anyway, that's that. With that being said, how you doing?
Say something nice about us.
I sure will, I promise. Speaking of which, so yeah, I'm at, it was a guy from the owner of this cafe here, and he said, say something nice about them. And I told him that I would, because the funny thing is, I have Starbucks, but I'm not in Starbucks. I'll see if I can show y'all the name before I leave. So anyway, those of you all that have been following me for a while, you know that I have a lot to offer. Some of that is in the form of music. Some of that is in the form of, inspiration of different sorts. There's the quotes, there's the vlogs that you all have been seeing, and so much more, the podcast. If you're not listening to my podcast, shame on you. The podcast, though, is getting ready to be, it is my most important baby right now. The podcast is my absolute, so I'm just getting some leg room under this little table. This table is about this big. But the podcast is like, it's my baby. The reason why is because I get a chance to be the most intimate with you all on a regular basis. And I also get to talk about a number of other things that aren't a part of what many people know me for already. The majority of people know me for music and playing the piano. Not too many people know me as like a philosophy addict, you know, a buff, what have you. A person that's heavy into science, a person that's, you know, heavy into just motivation. So, with that being said, I titled this Flow to let you know what to expect in my flow, because it's getting ready to be overflow. I almost titled it 2019 Overflow, but I wanted to play with the acronym. So what you can expect is to see daily quotes all day long streaming down the timeline for me. You'll be able to see many of my own personal quotes. And hello there, if you can drop a line, everybody that's here, drop a line, let me know you're here, say hi so I can say hi back. Those of you all that know, I'm an interactive guy, so when there's nobody speaking, I'm in a world by myself, literally. No, but I want to say hello to you also. Drop a line, happy Monday to you. But you'll see a lot of my quotes coming down the timeline every day, 4, 5, 6, 7 quotes. And then I also share some of my favorite quotes from other people. And so I'm getting ready to start doing that much, much, much more. In addition to that, I'll also be having a stream of music, a stream of conversations happening through my podcast, a stream of the vlogs and that kind of thing, and just so much more stuff. Like, I can't even explain in words, even though I'm trying, how much of me you're getting ready to get, how much I'm getting ready to pour out. I've already been pouring out for a while, and now it's time to take it to the next level. So that's what 2019 Flow is about. And I've got some publications coming out with quotes. I've got some ebooks. I've got like a number of things. And so that's why you want to keep up with the podcast. So go to anchor.fm/Aaron Hill, and you'll see the podcast there. Check out the conversations. I mean, I've had so many great conversations with great people, just investing in their life. For what it's worth, giving them my advice, my take on things, my experience. And I've been doing that already for years. It's just that the goal now is to expose everybody to that, so that when I help one person, I help everybody. So that's what this whole process is about. Much love to you. Thanks for coming on over and hanging out. So I was just saying that, you know, there's getting ready to be like an overflow. I titled this, you'll be the first one, Donetta. So I titled this live stream 2019 Flow. And it's to really talk about my flow and how I'm getting ready to really be on overflow. Like, the amount of stuff that you're getting ready to see from me is getting ready to be bananas. And what I wanted everybody to do, I haven't figured out what F.L.O.W. will be as an acronym. So what I wanted everybody to do, just for fun, so we can exchange and have some dialogue, is to drop what flow means to you, F.L.O.W. What kind of acronym? The first one that I became familiar with was follow the leading of the wind. So, you know, maybe that's it. But let me go ahead and just kind of say that the feedback that I've been getting has been really inspiring, to the point where it's the reason why I'm getting ready to go on overflow. And so I've got a few things in place. I got a few hands that'll be helping in operation. And I'm going to be working around the clock to bring as much music, motivation, information, education, even corny humor into the mix as possible. And you'll be able to find out about all that through my podcast, because the podcast will be the most intimate version of me. The most intimate. And so that's why I want everybody to be there, because I'll be able to speak my mind about everything there. So with that, that's what everything is looking like. And this past weekend was amazing on that same tip, because I had a few people that I saw that was out that really was showing love because of what I've been trying to do for the community. And it just really made me feel good. We got a few things planned up, coming up. If you're in the DMV area, we have some monthly shows coming up. Our first one is going to be on March 23rd. I'll be able to shoot you all more information about that real shortly. And we're just going to be working really, really, and I say we as in myself, Chandra, and other members of the team. We're just going to be working really hard on our individual brands and on bringing you so much value as possible. So this has been a hard change, because right now what I'm used to is on my timeline, of course, there'll be at least 30 or 40 people here. I have to do it this way because of the fact that this particular page allows me exposure to the rest of my audience. So it would really help if anyone who watches this, if you could share it, because what I'm going to start doing is just sending a message to my personal page to let you know when I'll be streaming to this page. That way you can tune in and we can keep the conversation going. Yeah, save the date, Donetta. That's going to be an amazing show. And Kiera Johnson of Purple Honey is actually going to be one of the ones teaming up to produce the show. So you already know. You know what we do. You know what he does. Together, it's getting ready to be crazy. Got my brother Clarence Ward, who's going to be a part of the mix. Chandra, the Fruition Trio. It's going to be fun. So yeah, stay tuned for those details. And I'll be giving you those details really shortly as far as the time. We have the location. It'll be at the UB Blake Center. But I'll give you the rest of the details very, very soon. So thank you. I love you. Thank you so much for hanging out. So, yeah. If you tuned in this morning, thank you for tuning in to In the Shed. That's another one of the iterations that is starting to pick up momentum, and I see where it's going. And I'll be doing that on this page as well. I'll be doing that weekly, twice a week, and you'll be able to know when to tune in. So Donetta, the other thing about this that's really important is that from now on there'll be programming, so you'll know when to tune into what. It won't just be all random. There'll be, some open and random times here and there just for spontaneity. But for the most part, a lot of it will be programming, so that way you can tune in, you can know when to tune in, and what we're going to talk about, what we're going to deal with, and that kind of thing. So what do you think about the quote that I put up this morning about productivity? Let's talk about that for a few. There's a thing with being busy, right? There's being busy, and then there's being productive. Sometimes the two, they merge. Sometimes the two, come together as one in a formula, but they are mutually exclusive things from their foundation. And I think it's something that everybody can relate to. Hello. I think it's something that everybody can relate to, because there are many times when we're doing something and we're busy, but if we were to really look at it afterwards, a lot of times we have nothing to show for. Or if we do, it's way less than the amount of time that we put into whatever we were doing. That comes from being busy and not being productive. That comes from the fact that everything you do that requires your time and attention isn't always in your best interest to do. And it's not always in your best interest to do, the lava is freezing. It's probably because of my location. I might have to go and come back. I'm sorry. I know it did freeze one time. But I was saying that a lot of times we're busy and the productivity is a separate thing. It's just, I guess I just pointed out, not to really make a case, about anybody's actions or doings. It's more so for you to take inventory for yourself. It's for you to take inventory for yourself to say, okay, where in my life am I busy? I'm definitely occupied. That's the other way to put it. I'm definitely occupied. In a sense, I'm unavailable. and I'm definitely busy. But when you gauge your overall life and what you're trying to do, just ask yourself, how much does this pertain to my goal? Is this really something where I'm being productive, or am I just busy? And the reason why I say that is because you can really fool yourself. There are many times when you can be busy, not really being productive, but you can think just because you have no time in your schedule or, that kind of thing, that you're being productive. It's not always the case. So focus on being productive. Find the places where you're just busy, but it's not really helping your overarching goal, theme, message, whatever you're trying to do. So that was one quote that I put up earlier today. Let's see, what's another one? I wish I had more people here so you could start throwing them back at me and I could elaborate on them. Let me think back. Let's see, what else did I put up this week? So failing is not so bad. It's not trying that's the ass kicker. Failing is not so bad. It's not trying that's the ass kicker. And so, my life motto, one of my life mottos, I have like 3. One of them is, I'd rather fail than to regret never trying. And I want to keep pounding that message for everybody, because I think it's one of the most important things in life. If you're going to have solace in life with how your life goes, especially as it pertains to your goals and your dreams, you can't grow older still having certain things. Hey Eugene, thanks for hanging out, brother. You can't grow older and have things that you really desire to do or to try or to at least explore, and let your own insecurities or let somebody else's opinion hold you back or keep it in. Not your mama, not your father, not your uncle, not people on social media. You gotta stop caring. Like, one of my favorite people that I follow now, an entrepreneur named Gary Vee, he echoes a lot of my sentiments, and it's why he resonates with me so much. But one of the things that he says is that, like, you gotta totally care about people's opinions, and then, excuse me, and then, how do I want to put it? It's a dichotomy. At the same time, in a dichotomy, you want to totally care about people's opinions and not care at all, or as he says, not give up. And the reason why is because it's important. Like, people's opinions and their observations are important, but they also could be crippling. That's probably going to be the next post that I put up right after this. Like, people's opinions, I don't know how I'm going to phrase it, but people's opinions are important, like all the way up to the point at which they become crippling to you. Then they're not only not important, they're not helpful, they're not significant. Like, they just don't need to be invested in that much at the end of the day, unless it's really helping you. But even then, you still have to be clear about your own thoughts. You can't live your life vicariously through someone else. That's like, so many people are doing that. So many people are living their lives vicariously through other people or through other people's stories, even worse. And especially when it's not your own story. So, I can't harp on it enough. We're social creatures. So, I mean, the bottom line is that we're going to care. Like, we don't have a way of, like, truly just not caring. But the most important thing you could do is gauge how something is making you feel. Yesterday, Handicap Destiny. I love it, Eugene. I love it. Handicap Destiny. That's a really good way of putting it. So yesterday we were at the gathering, and if you're in the DMV, first Sundays we have the gathering over at Yoga Village, Baltimore Yoga Village on York Road. Incredible time. Oh my gosh. So you all are here from that as well, because we'll be putting up the audio from it, and it was amazing. In the morning, Amma and I listened to a video. It was a video that Amma has been listening to for, I think she said, like the last couple of days. And it's a video that talks about dealing with things on the cellular level. It's like cellular correction. And it basically talks about how, like, you know, the things that we deal with aren't just in our brain. You know, the science shows that it literally goes all the way down to every atom of our being. The memories are stored there. So a lot of times if you're dealing with something, it might start here, but you might not realize how much of it is affecting your entire body. There was many things about the video that I agree with 100%. There's a couple of things that I think was inaccurate. We'll talk about that too, because that's exciting. And that's always an ongoing conversation with myself and Alma. Because I'm a person that has learned a lot, has been through a lot, especially when it comes down to religion and spirituality and that kind of thing. And so being a person who is a secular humanist and atheist now, there's like, I have an appreciation for everything because I've studied and applied everything. And I don't discount everything. There's a lot that I find value in. There's a few places where people don't see things being inaccurate or, you know, adding up to things that sound good, but, you know, can't necessarily be attested to. And there's some dishonesty on there a lot of times. So with that, I'm actually going to do a video maybe or a podcast where I'm talking about what I found insightful in that video and what I found bullshit in that video. So stay tuned for that. But the point though is that, you know, there were some very helpful things, and we talked about the concept of memories being down on the cellular level and how it's important for us to know that and be aware of it so that we can be able to deal with those things. So, you know, when I think about people's opinions and their feelings and how it matters to other people and how it, like Eugene said here so eloquently, how it can handicap our destiny, I can't talk about it enough. In 2019, you need to flow. Let me see if I can get that right. The orientation on this camera is like, you need to flow. Figure out what your flow is. If your flow, the main thing is that your flow needs to be doing things in a way that you would have them done. Keeping your blinders on so that you can stay focused and not have your destiny handicapped. Not be busy, but not productive. And just not let people's opinions really stifle who you are. As we all know, people are gonna have something to say regardless. It's like right now. I'm sitting in Quarry Bagel Cafe. There's a group full of people in front of me. I'm sitting by myself, not bothering anybody, not making a lot of noise, I'm pretty quiet. And you know, I could tell from a few of their faces, they're like, well, what are you doing? You know. It's just what it's gonna be. Somebody's always gonna have something to say. But notice, now here's a case in point. If I were to turn the camera around, and I won't do that because I don't want to mess with people's privacy, but if I was to turn the camera around, they're directly in front of me. But if you rewind this video, you'll see me look in that direction one time, and that was, I wasn't even reacting to anything. I just looked in that direction at the people. Really, I like for them to look this way so I can say hello. But I'm saying that to say, even with the murmuring, and they moved on and doing that thing. But I'm here, as Martin used to say in the 90s, I'm here with mine. I'm right here. Because the only thing that matters, this is the way that I do things. This is what works for me. And as long as you're doing something that's not actually genuinely hurting another human being, handicapping another human being's destiny, Eugene, put that up, man. Put that up as a quote on your timeline, because that's really good the way you put that. But you know, unless a person is really negatively impacting other people's lives, like I support you doing you, and you need to support you doing you. So figure out what your flow is this year. And I'm talking about the places where you haven't been in the flow. Because of course there's, a number of places where you have been and things have been going well and you've been on your P's and Q's. But find out the places where you haven't been there. And most of all, for me and for the purposes of what I want to really be able to inspire people with is like, find the places where you haven't been in the flow because you've been afraid of judgment. Because you were really just like, I know that, I really want to do this. I know that this is the best way for me to do this. This is my style. This is how I do things. I just know how much flack I'm going to get. It's time to let the cat out the bag. Like, it's time for you to go forward with that, whatever that is and in what area. Because I promise at the end of the day, it's much better because you feel more authentic. You're being your true authentic self. And to be honest, and I've said this for years, people respect authenticity. Respect is different. Different. Let me say this slowly. Respect is different than people liking you. It's a completely different thing. That's going to be the next quote. I'll put it right away so I don't forget it. Respect is a completely different thing than people liking you. People who respect you don't have to like you. And to be honest, you don't need them to like you. You don't need everybody to like you or to agree with what you're doing or agree with who you are. You know how many people would disagree with me being a secular humanist and atheist? Like, probably almost everybody that I know, with the exception of a few people. The thing is, that can't matter, though. And I care about people's feelings, but the beautiful part is, because I'm an authentic person, then what it allows me to do is it allows me to, I told somebody this the other day. I feel like I'm finally coming together with these thoughts. I told somebody this the other day. Take it back to the respect thing. People don't have to like you as long as they respect you. That's what you want. There'll be many people that feel different ways about myself or about other people. But every time somebody judges you, and this is what I was saying to the person, every time somebody judges you, especially on social media, where you get to do this, instead of it being like a defeating thing that you have to be afraid of, it's actually an opportunity. The opportunity is for you once again to proclaim your truth, especially if you're being real. Like, if you're being fake and you full of shit, like, okay. But if you're not, then it gives you the ability to proclaim your truth again. It gives you the ability to say, I know you think that of me. I know you're judging me in that way. I know you're judging my actions in that way. Guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. Yeah, man. And when I think about something like that, when I think about guard your heart, I think about your heart metaphorically. It's in your mind, your thoughts. And most of all, especially if we're talking about it in the way that I'm thinking about conveying it, it's like your intentions. Your intentions is really what's most important. That's your heart. Your heart is your intentions. So, thank you, Eugene. Appreciate that, man. And so that brings up another thing too. And I'm glad you did that. Take a little sidebar to say this. So, what I'm excited about is sharing and helping a lot of people to understand that just because you're an atheist doesn't mean that you disagree with principles, whether they're in the Bible, whether they're in the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, whatever. Principles are principles, And so there might be connections to that, philosophically or theologically, but principles are principles. Again, now there'll be somebody that one day doesn't realize that about me, or doesn't realize that about what it means to be a person who's of sound mind and just has a different, belief than other people, in certain ways or what have you. Is not convinced by certain things in certain ways. Every time somebody judges me on that, I'm like, yes. All right, so here we go. We get a chance to talk about it again. And in this kind of medium that we're using, which is the internet, and the ability for me to create an archived version, and I'm speaking this for you, the ability for you to create an archived version of your message infinite amount of times is the most amazing thing ever. I want people to understand, you want people to understand your heart, to understand your message, to understand who you are, truthfully. But every opportunity when it doesn't happen, just perfect. You get the opportunity to explain yourself. And at the end of the day, what happens is people respect authenticity over their preconceived narratives that's in their mind about you, or either about like the stereotypical aspect of what they have in their mind, what they're labeling. Authenticity beats all that. It clears up and clarifies all that. There'll be somebody who says, you can't have morals as an atheist. Where do you get them from? While I sit there and change half of the world through positivity and through love and through all the things that everybody else, no matter what walk of life, no matter what religion or spiritual path they choose, demonstrates the same thing. And this is, I promise, this is not me, because I'm not an arrogant person and I hardly ever toot my own horn. But there are sometimes when, even as a person not proclaiming a particular, faith path, what have you, where I'll be demonstrating certain principles more than some people that I see that like say that they basically have the keys, and that you can't get them unless you think of them in that way. Like, I'll be like, wow, it's so amazing. But I realize again, that comes down to narratives, and none of it matters. None of it matters. Hello. Looking for ladies' room? So I'm sitting like way in the back, right? So people come back here like, where's the restroom? Comes down to your core beliefs, your non-negotiable beliefs. 100%. Couldn't agree with you more. And I'm glad you said that, Eugene, because you know what my non-negotiables are? My non-negotiables are respect. Check this out. Let me hit you like this. And this is why, like I said, I love getting a chance to talk about it. My core beliefs, the non-negotiables, are love, joy, peace, patience, mindfulness, meekness, humility, long suffering, right? In the form of, from the perspective of not suffering but patience. What do those sound like for most people? The fruits of the Spirit, right? The only thing different about me is that I might not call them the fruits of the Spirit. I might be fine with like that, what people call, but I don't look at them as something that a particular belief system has a lock on and created, and that's the non-negotiables are the things that pretty much every human being on the face of this earth that has a conscience, has a heart, and really understands what it means to be positive and to demonstrate those things, not because of the reward that it gives you. That's the easy part. Like, it's easy to dangle in front of a person's face a reward and say, do this and you'll get a reward. To me, and this is no offense to anybody, to me the more mature thing is when you're able to do those things and they're not attached to outcomes. They're not attached to, to lollipops and favors and rewards. And again, that's not to knock anybody, but I'm just saying that to say that that's what I love about it. And that's what I love being able to talk about it. And what I'm looking forward to talking about more. This is the thing. I realized something coming into this year, and it got me so excited because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to set so many people free with this. So for many people, I am getting ready to be a walking like cognitive dissonance. That which governs your day-to-day life. Yeah, man, your life day-to-day. I love you, man. Thank you so much for these gems, and thanks for hanging out, bro. And you see how much, okay, we might say we have, foundational different, beliefs about theology, but you see how we connect? That's what I'm talking about. That's what it's about. And what I want to help people to understand, because it'll clear up stereotypes. I was like, I'm getting ready to be a walking cognitive dissonance for people. And I was like, yes, this is great. Because at the far reaching ends of the spectrum, like where it would first start, even for myself, and for many other people, however this applies to you, as far as being different, and being different, or being someone that, or in a particular place where it's different than the norm, right, or the social norms. I said, this is cool because what will happen is there's a lot of stereotypes that I'll be able to clear up and that I'll be able to help with. And it won't be a matter of like the actions will speak louder than words. Words will be a part of the actions like right now, but the actions will be a part of the words. And that's beautiful to me because it moves people out of their comfort zone. It moves people out of their traditional, like, this is the way things are and this is the way that I believe them to be, because you can't deny something that's right in front of your face. You can, but it's harder. It's much harder to deny when you have something right in front of your face that's obvious, you know. And so with that, I'm looking forward to being like some people, you know, hopefully many people. Right now it's kind of like many people's favorite, most upright, most giving and loving, most honorable, you know, most cherished, most powerful, positive, or one of those powerful, positive, impactful atheists in the world. And I love that. Hey, Marie. Good morning to you. Good morning. I hope you had a great weekend. Thanks so much for joining me for Move Mondays. We're having fun. So we're just talking about authenticity. My brother Eugene has been just dropping gem after gem. And we've just been talking about authenticity, what it means to be your authentic self, to be your unapologetic self, to not worry about people's feelings or opinions, to know that even if you're different, you can be able to use your voice and use your intention. That's what it is more. Your intention may come out in the form of voice and other means, but use your intention in order to be able to teach and lead by example. My only goal is to lead by example. So yeah, with that, I just want to inspire you in the places where that is that for you. Whatever place, like I said, where it's like you've been kind of like, even if it's like you've been going at it, you've been doing your thing, but you haven't been doing it in a capacity like you would really like to do it. Because you just know, like, if you really did it the way you want to do it, you would have so many people that just like, and I want to help that not to matter. I want to help it to matter only in as much as observing that it doesn't matter. And that is more exciting to me than everything. Let me tell y'all something else, and I'm gonna do this right on camera. I did this the other day on camera, but I haven't released the video. So to help people with insecurities and that kind of thing. So I have an insecurity that hopefully will be fixed very soon. And the biggest thing about it is that on camera, it's like, can't hide it. I have stains on my teeth. And so, and even just by me saying that, it allows me, every time I say it, it allows me to push past it meaning a thing, because now that means, oh my gosh, now every video, everybody will be like, hold on, let me pause and let me look up close and personal at his teeth. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm saying that because I want to help people with the things that keep them insecure from really doing what they need to do, whether it be somewhere out there in the world or whether it be on social media. Because your most humble effort is your greatest power. Your true superpower is your vulnerability. I love you too, Marie. Pushing it out, that's what I'm talking about. Your true superpower is your vulnerability. I love you too, Marie. Thank you so much. I love you too. Your true power. And I put down a quote this week that I recorded, and I think I released it, but it was, I don't think I released, no, because I was speaking it. And that's the other thing too, that helps me to also tell you a few other things as far as this flow thing. So a lot of my quotes, one of the things I'm really excited, I've been contemplating this for a while. I knew that my quotes had a particular medium, a particular pipe that was more than just streaming down the timeline, which is getting ready to be bananas. You're about to see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quotes a day, every day. But more than just that, I was like, you know, ebook or some other kind of thing. So what I came up with, every quote that you guys see me put out, I'm recording it as well, because it's going to be a part of a compilation where there's just quote after quote after quote after quote over one of my musical pieces. Like It might go back to what I titled my last group, which was called Quotes and Musical Elevations. But I'm not sure if I want to go that. Maybe you can give me some ideas, you know. Oh, and Marie, by the way, the title of this video, and everybody else who's joined in right now, the title of this video is 2019 F.L.O.W. And the F.L.O.W., as you see, is an acronym. I don't know what that acronym means. I put it there. I was using the word flow. I was going to use the word, and I was like, this would be a cool acronym. I was like, you know what? I don't have to come up with it. Let me put it, and let me let everybody chime in to come up with their best thing, and we'll have fun even talking about that. Follow the leading of the wind, of course, is one that many are familiar with and that I learned, but, you know. But anyway, with that being said, the quotes are getting ready to be set to music. And I was letting my brother, Kier Johnson, shout out to Kier Johnson of Purple Honey, I was letting him hear some of the newest tracks yesterday. He was really appreciating them, and I was telling him how, you know, I finally found my groove. I finally found my niche when it comes to where I started and all the way up until now. And so what you're getting ready to hear is every quote that you see me drop, there's going to be a track that I released that has a compilation of all those quotes. It may be from the week, it may be from the month, right? These are going to be ambiance tracks. These are going to be mood setting tracks. These are going to be tracks that you're going to be able to play every morning or every time you just need some inspiration. It's going to be part, like, I don't know if you all are familiar with the genre of music called chill out, but chill out is like a mash, a mixture. Hey, yes, it'll reveal itself. I totally agree. But I did that though because I wanted you all to join in. I want everybody to have fun coming up with their own, you know, creative ideas. You know how I am. I'm here with mine, as Martin would say. I'm here with mine. But you'll be able to play these tracks. If you're familiar with the chill out genre, I finally realized that that's my home. The chill out genre is like a merge between. It's a merge between like instrumental music, like smooth jazz, but it's not really smooth jazz. It's more so hip hop oriented, but it's like right in the middle to where it's loop based and ambiance based and mood creating, mood setting, while at the same time it has a dynamic aspect to it, especially in the way that I'm doing it because I'm a composer. And so I've already put out a couple tracks, but I'm going to be pushing those more because I want those to be in your ears. My goal is to reprogram. My goal is to reprogram and, of course, reprogram for positivity. The goal is to reprogram. So about maybe, I would say 4 to 5 years ago now, I started an album called Deep Grooves. And the concept of the album, first, it was just about, you know, deep head bobbing grooves, just, you know, cool stuff in that vein. But over time, I realized I actually wanted to take that concept in another direction. So if you're a science buff like I am, then you're familiar with neurological pathways, and you're familiar with frequencies, and you're familiar with how, like, things in repetition, especially as far as music and mantra, get into our minds, and it creates these neurological pathways that basically operate on the conscious and the subconscious level. Most of the programming that we have is on the subconscious level. It's the things that we do without intention. It's the scary. I'm going to let you all hear a conversation between myself and Aria the other day, where we talked about that deeply. And she basically said that she noticed that in her class and in her school, when the young people listen to the music, she was like, most of the time we aren't really listening to the word. And I was like, that's exactly the problem. 100%, 100,000% the problem. So because of the fact that right now we clearly have programming going on out here throughout music, I realized that my goal is to basically take that and turn that into positive grooves in the mind. So the deep grooves will be getting new messages, refreshing messages down into your grooves, and your grooves are your neurological pathways. If you keep saying something, you know, Marie, because because of how much you've dealt with the concept of affirmations, you know, and denials over the past, you know, years, you know, with you know, your spiritual path and that kind of thing. And so the goal is reprogramming. And I realized that I started off as a lyricist, first of all. Even before being a lyricist, I started off as a poet. I was like my mom's favorite poet when I was like 8. And I wish, and this is why I'm taking advantage of social media so much and documenting this way, because there's a lot of my memories that's lost. A lot of my memories that's lost due to not having a medium like this to store them. One of those things that's lost, I'm gonna see how many my mom still has, but my poems. So I started off as a poet and got really experienced with that. And then I became a lyricist. Then I became a hip hop producer. Then I became a piano player. So my roots are really lyrics and a poetic way of verbalizing things. And then when it comes to hip hop, creating loop-based ambient music, creating like trance music, really so you'll be able to use this music for study time, you'll be able to use this music for meditation time, you'll be able to use it for drive time, you'll be able to just use it for the time to just like soak into a mood. And on top of that, I'm gonna have a lot of the positive quotes that you all hear me say. And it's almost like, I don't know why it took me so long to get to this point. I guess I do know. Actually, I do know why. That's actually, I know why, and it's the thing I want to help everybody else with. I've been, as you all know, it's because one of the reasons why many of you all like me is that I've been being authentic for a while. And I've been taking advantage of the opportunities and the resources that we have for a while. But here's the thing. It's in such abundance that even me, who's taking advantage of it every day, is still leaving a lot on the table that I could do that would be in my passion and in my dreams and my goals. And so are you, so is everybody else. That's why I want to really help through leading by example. So that's what I'll be doing. It'll be quotes and musical elevations. I don't know if I'm going to use that title or if I want something that sounds a little bit more artsy and colorful. We'll see. I just wanted to let you know what's coming down the pike, what's in the flow for 2019. So let me know, what's in your flow for 2019. Let me know what you have planned. Let me know what, be vulnerable. One of the people that I'm helping right now, which is Andrea, and please let's give Andrea some support and help. Andrea is a woman whose son has very severe autism, and she's in a very unfortunate situation where she has no money and no support, and she's not even able to get the medical support that she needs. So I'm trying to help her via my voice and via my platform. So if you can, please go check out my podcast so you can see her name, Help with Andrea, and whatever you can do, even if it's just stopping by saying, Andrea, I'm thinking about you, just something. So I told Andrea a while back as she works with her confidence level and also with her learning of how to use this platform in order to get her message out and to get the attention that she needs to get the help that she needs. I told her that, we want to play a game, and that was vulnerable action for vulnerable action. Every time I do a vulnerable action, you do a vulnerable action. So I want to do the same thing for you. I want to do the same thing for everybody. So drop a line of feedback just with how you can relate to any of this. Thank you so much, Marie. I love you. And folks love sugar. Thank you so much. So, drop some feedback to this. So, one last thing, and I know I'm rambling, but it's Mood Mondays. What the hell, right? So, as I've been reaching more people, one of the things that I noticed, and this is the business side of me as well as the personal side. The business side of me knows how to read certain things like algorithms and engagement and stuff like that. The other side knows how to read personal feelings. So I've been monitoring to see if like Facebook is really allowing you to reach all the people that you need to reach, and we'll talk about that another time. But my point is in that there's some people that have come on my post and just responded with like, I might have something like this that's like in depth, and their response may be amen. Now, yes, I'm a secular humanist. Yes, I'm an atheist. It doesn't bother me though. It doesn't bother me at all. In fact, it's one of the things I'm going to help other people to do and other people to understand. Like, understand a person's intentions, not getting hung up in your own thing. When people say amen, they're giving you validation. They're saying like, I approve. So I appreciate that. But I think some of it is fake, and not that the people are fake, Well, I am saying the people are fake, but not real people. I think some of them are fake profiles and stuff like that. But even more than that, I wanted to say that because I didn't respond yet, but there was somebody who responded to, it was Miss Harrison, Candy Harrison. Shout out to Candy Harrison, one of my favorite Facebook friends. And she was saying, look, when I say amen, I mean this. And I didn't get a chance to respond to her because 100%, like, the people I know. But even beyond that, though, I am a conversationalist, as y'all see. I'm a sapiosexual, so intellectual stimulation, you know. That's why I'm with the women that I'm with. But also in addition to that, I'm a conversationalist. So I hate one-word answers. I hate them. I like to hear your heart. You know, I like to hear more because, not to get in your business, but because I care. And I'm a conversationalist. It's what stimulates me. So drop a line with anything that you can relate to in this particular Move Mondays. Tell me how this relates to you as far as your 2019 flow. Tell me what is your flow for 2019? One small. You don't have to tell me all your business, but one small thing where you do need to get out of your own way. You do need to stop worrying about what everybody else is going to say. You do need to get out of your own insecurities, your own fears, your own hangups, your own setbacks, your own self, in order to allow your butterflies to fly, in order to stop stifling their wings. Let me know what that is for you. Let me know how you want to deal with that, and if there's anything that I can do. So that's about it. I thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Please share this, because now I need help to get this to other people, because like I said, coming on this public figure page, I don't have the audience that I would normally have because I'm just starting to build here. So if you can, share it with a friend. And we'll be doing things here from now on. I love you. I appreciate you. Have a happy Monday. Love somebody. Don't judge. Stop judging before you know all the information. And don't allow others' judgment of you to, as my good brother earlier, Eugene Barnes said, to handicap your destiny. I love you. I'll talk to you soon, and continue to spread peace. Peace.